So here's what I came up with for my sail. I've got this tripod in the front, which is kind of like the mast, but rather than having one post with a bunch of lines holding it in place, went with the tripod. This white line in the front is just to keep it from coming out because it'll tilt back. There's a lot of pressure and tension on it, so I'm just securing that a little bit. The other poles didn't need it as much. Now the sail, this is a Latin style sail. That's what I based it off of. So the sail is going to be suspended between the tripod from the front. And it should be able to kind of pivot and move up and down. So right now the green line, all I did was just wrap it around the post on the sail enough to keep it from sliding. And I was surprised actually that just enough wraps on the green line kept it from doing it. And then I'm going to rig it from the top. I've got a quick link up there on my tripod, so I'm demonstrating it goes up and down. And now I want to tie down the front of the sail to the canoe itself. That way when I lift up the green line, when I hoist the sail, the front stays down. And I experimented with where to go with the front line, and so there you go. That's how it works. That's how it should look. And then the back corner of the sail, I don't remember all the sail terms, I don't remember what it's called, but I just need to tie that down so it doesn't flap everywhere, and I've got some control over where I can let it go out if I'm going more downwind on a reach, on a broad reach or something, or I can bring it in close and tight if I'm trying to go more into the wind. So here I'm demonstrating it can pivot from both sides. So I'm in my boat, right? So let me go ahead and first keep this one tight for now, just so I can raise it up. All right. So I'll raise up my mainsail. I'll call this the halyard, I guess. And it'll go all the way up. Okay. And then I'll tie this off. And I should be able to kind of leave this one up most of the time. Now, my red line in the back controls the tail end. Now, that's pretty easy. I'll mostly just keep it taut, whatever. The front we need to talk about. This is where the best I could figure out, and I'd love to hear anybody's feedback, I have actually 3 different lines to control the front. If I want to go on a close reach or kind of attack, try to go more into the wind, the center line I'll secure, okay? And once I have the center line secured and pull this in, I'll be going more or less, you know, on an attack or a close reach as much into the wind as possible. Now, if I want to do a reach of some kind, I'll need to get this front pointing to one side so the sail swings to the other. So I can either pull to starboard, in which case the sail will go out on the port, or I can pull to port, in which case the sail would, if there was some wind, it would swing out to starboard. Now, if I was on a reach, that's a lot of weight on one side. It would be better to have the mast more centered, so that way the sail's a little bit more even. So I'm probably going to be really heavy, and I'll have to lean over quite a bit to one side. I'm sure I'll also have a lot of driftage in that direction, so I might have to install a lee board or work on my rudder skills. So I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we'll try it out. And this might be a better seat, or maybe being back here will be better. And the good news is my lines are long enough I can really control from wherever I need to from my boat. And if I'm back here, I might be able to rudder as well once I have my sails secure. So now it's going to be time to test it out. All right, looks flat enough here. So there's a little bit of a breeze coming from straight downriver towards us. So that means I'm gonna wanna start us out on a close reach, which means I'll have my center line secure. There we go. So I'll go ahead and get that one ready to tie off. And my back line, I have, where is that? Right here. I think it'll be better on this side. So I've got that ready. So I'll go ahead and hoist the main. All right. Great. Let me tie off some of these lines here. So my crew is pretty small, so I'll have to use my feet to hold down that green one while I'm tying off the white one here. Okay, I'll tie this one off here. Okay, perfect. Now let me get away from these trees. And ideally, the wind will come. And let me get my paddle out of the way. Yeah, now we're talking. Except there's no wind right now. The wind just died down. So this was a long clip, probably like 7 minutes or so of me just embarrassing myself trying to get the sail to work. But really the wind was very slight, and you can see it keeps trying to fill up the sail, and I'm just not very successful at using it properly. By the end of the day I did get better. My battery just died, so you didn't see it. But what I really needed to do was to use my paddle as the lee board and kind of get used to where to put that down. So maybe I'll make a follow-up video if anybody ever watches this video, and I can talk more about how I built the sail and using the lee board technique. But it was kind of fun. I really do need still a day with more wind to make a follow-up video. But anyway, it was a good experience, and it basically worked better than my last bamboo sail. Okay, I've refined my design a little bit. So the point in the front, I realize I don't think I really need the white line at all. The one to bring it to the middle up there. Because I can kind of control it with the two sidelines, and also I wanted to bring it in tighter because what that does is bring the back up a little bit. So now you can see it's out of my face, and I think that's an okay angle. We'll see how it works, but check this out. So I've got both these lines just tied in a loop, so I can pull this way or this way, and I can change the angle of the entire mast depending on how I do that. So right now, of course, there's not much of a breeze still, but it looks kind of nice with the sun behind it like that. And I guess there might be a little bit of a breeze because it's kind of pushing my nose upwind. I mean, sorry, downwind, upriver. So must be a tiny slight breeze. It's not doing much right now, but it's not in the way, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I came down some rapids up there, and it was a little scary because I couldn't see. That's when I decided to alter the design to push the nose back and bring the tail up. What is this called? The leech end? To bring this up a little bit. So it's totally out of my hair. My visibility is much better. Yeah, there we go. Well, I would say the sail worked as well as I thought it would. I mean, the sail works, but I just didn't have much wind to figure out exactly how to use it, how far off course it blows me, how much it blows me, you know, leeward. I didn't even really get to experiment much with the dagger board. No, I call it dagger board. I meant the lee board, because I just don't have much wind. Maybe it'll be breezier later today or tomorrow, but going backwards at least. But it's a good first try. Chris and I are going to come out tomorrow and we'll make it even better. Nothing's going wrong at all. It's perfect, just the way we planned it to be.